News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks. Some conflicting reports from the U.S. and Iran today on how negotiations are going to end the war in the Middle East, including what financial relief could look like for Iran, with the U.S. reportedly set to unfreeze about $12 billion now in Iranian assets. Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall has more from Washington.
Earlier today, President Trump took to Truth Social to reiterate an idea that appeared to first be floated by the vice president yesterday, that any unfreezing of these assets would go towards the purchase of U.S. agricultural goods. Now, we heard from Iran's foreign minister earlier today seeming to dispute that, saying that Iran will be able to, quote, freely use the funds as they wish. And the actual text of the memorandum of understanding does stipulate that the Iranian central bank will be able to designate the beneficiaries of this money.
Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall reporting there. President Trump also said Iran has agreed to nuclear inspections as soon as this week, but Iran's foreign minister has already disputed that claim, saying it's too early for that discussion. Meantime, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is kicking off a regional tour in the United Arab Emirates today, which will include discussions on the status of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran and Oman have been meeting about the waterway's management structure, including the possibility of tolls, which the U.S. doesn't want to see put in place. But oil is still flowing despite Iran's claims this weekend that it had closed the strait. Earlier today, President Trump said 19 million barrels of oil flowed out of Hormuz just yesterday. We check the markets for you all day long here at Bloomberg, and right now the Dow is up 0.1%, but the S&P is down about 1%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq's leading declines down 1.4%. Mega-cap tech may be dragging the broader market lower, but Evercore ISI chief equity strategist Julian Emanuel says earnings will catch up to valuations.
When you look at it, the chip names, have done a great deal of the heavy lifting. You will need a refreshed attitude towards the Mag 7. There have been certain periods of time where essentially earnings and price have, caught up to each other. And we think that's one of these periods in these larger names, and that you will have price start to advance.
That's Evercore's Julian Emanuel there. SpaceX has drawn about $89 billion of demand for its debut U.S. bond sale, setting the stage now for one of the biggest deals in the U.S. investment grade market this year. Robert Schiffman is a senior tech credit analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence.
I do get it why people say, how are these ratings so high? And I think you just need to look into the future a little bit. And look at the past. One is they're sitting on $100 billion of cash. Two is they're committed to IG ratings and reasonably low leverage. Three is their liquidity profile looks fantastic. They have access to huge pools of both equity and debt capital, and their burn rate is going to take them 3 or 4 years to even get through the amount of capital that they have today.
Bloomberg's Robert Schiffman says that includes more than $100 billion in cash on its books and investment-grade ratings for major bond graders. Shares of SpaceX are up almost 5% this hour. Oracle stock is down 3.2% right now after cutting 21,000 jobs over the past 12 months. The company's annual financial regulatory filing shows that many of those jobs were replaced by the use of artificial intelligence as the company works to build out AI data centers for customers like OpenAI. President Trump says 6 people have now been arrested for allegedly damaging the Lincoln Memorial's reflecting pool, and another 7 have been cited. Trump posted that update on social media about the iconic pool, which has been plagued by algae and peeling paint after a multi-million-dollar renovation. The president says the water will be drained either immediately before or after July 4th celebrations to do permanent repairs. A European heat wave is proving deadly this week as conditions worsen in Britain, Spain, and France, where at least 45 people have now died. Paris is even closing the Eiffel Tower early today due to extreme heat. Walmart's teaming up with the nation's biggest supplier of nuclear energy. Constellation will provide electricity from an Illinois site to Walmart to support a perishable distribution center. That deal is also expected to fund long-term upgrades. Netflix will release its first original horror video game on June 30th as it looks to court more gamers. It's called Unhinged, and players will use their phones as controllers to shine a flashlight and interact with objects on the screen. The game's set in an abandoned apartment during a hurricane. And today marks the beginning of Amazon Prime Day, which is expected to bring in $26.3 billion in sales this year. According to Adobe Analytics, that's more than Black Friday and Cyber Monday combined, and would be a 9% increase over last year's Prime Day, which happened in July. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks, and this is Bloomberg.